Hey folks, what's up? It's Kane here. It's my first time trying a video with a voiceover, and I want to showcase a battle I had with Pidgeot. And so I'll be showing my deck first. It's a pretty basic deck, can be built by beginners as well. So I've got my birds here. I've got a couple of Pidgeys, Pidgeotto, and I've got Jiggly because I have a fancy Wiggly. And here's our pilot, our driver, the Pidgeot, with a broken ability, which is a Sabrina card, so to speak. And with this I have my Ditto because I can copy anything. It comes in handy, especially if you're using water and lightning energy. So because most teams I face use water and lightning. And here's my shiny Wiggly Tough EX with the Saxy art. Well, and of course I've got a bunch of items and supporters. So I've got the Pokeballs and our Oak and Giovanni and Sabrina. So it's the first battle, so I'm going up against a grass deck user and I'm going first. And here's my hand, pretty acidic. I have no basic Pokemon, so I'll have to use my item cards and my supporter probably. And here we draw a Ditto. It's pretty good, and since I have a grass energy in this battle, it'll come in handy because I can copy any of my opponent's moves. And so here's my Pidgey. So whenever I play this deck, I try to get my Pidgey to evolve, and to do so I don't mind sacrificing my Jigglypuff or Ditto for that matter. So yeah, when I saw the grass deck, I was expecting eggs and Venusaur EX cards to just pop up, but kudos to the opponent for playing a spicy deck with Paris. I wonder what they have in the back. I'm guessing, okay, they're drawing more basic Pokemon, so I guess even they didn't draw a basic in their first draw. Oh, there's Petlil, okay, and there's Scyther. Oh, the thing about Petlil is that if you let it evolve, it's gonna be a Misty card for the grass type, because it's the secondary effect on its move lets you add a grass energy to any of your Pokemon. So that's pretty annoying at times because it's easy to set up Venusaur with a Lilligant in the front. Okay, so here I am setting up my full deck. It's a good thing my opponent cannot attack me because he needs 2 energies. And I use my red card because I didn't want his Petlil to evolve, and I had a hunch that they might be having a Lilligant card there, and I forced them to switch their Paras out. So my thought process here was that since I already had a Pidgeot in my hand, I was hopeful to get a Pidgeotto in a turn or 2, and by the time I set my Pidgeotto to a Pidgeot, I can use my Jigglypuff as a sacrifice for the greater good and let my driver carry the round. So there goes my Jigglypuff with the first hit, and I'm sure the Jigglypuff can take one more. And there you go, I got my Pidgeotto. It's about a matter of time before my Pidgeot comes into play. And Pidgeot has a good base damage on wing attack. It's 70 HP damage, that's pretty good. And because most of the basic cards there can be knocked out using wing attack. And here I see a Caterpie, and if it becomes a Butterfree, it's gonna be another pain because of its passive. I think it's Powder Heal. It heals 20 HP if I'm not wrong. So here's my bird, and my bird's gonna fly. Right, so here when I see their benched Pokemon and their active Pokemon, my first concern was to make sure nothing in their bench evolves, because once they evolve, they're gonna have a high HP, and they'll have access to stronger moves. And my hand is not looking that strong in this game, so I thought, let me take care of the backline first. And there, the coup de grace on Petlil, so I don't have to worry about Lilligant. So considering my opponent's hand, I'm sure they have other cards stacked up for the evolutions of this, so I don't have to worry about another Petlil showing up. And Scyther comes back, and I'm anticipating a 30 damage or 40 if they use a Giovanni card. And there you go. The Metapod Caterpie evolved into the Metapod. And there's Pinsir. So Pinsir is it's a gamble card. I mean, you either do a lot of damage or you do no damage at all, or somewhere halfway there. It's a coin flip. So most of the times the games come down to the coin flips, because you just hope and pray that you can flip heads and your opponents don't. Well, sorry. At this point, I thought it would be just better to do away with the Scyther, because one, I'll be scoring a point for sure, and secondly, if I had driven the Scyther off, I was pretty sure Pinsir was going to show up. I was not very happy about that, because I'll need 2 turns to knock out Pinsir, even if I get a Giovanni. So, and here's Metapod, so I'm guessing they have a Butterfree in their hand and they're looking forward to evolve this. And yes, they're attaching another energy, but I don't see an evolution. They go for the Bug Bite. That's pretty strange. And here's my potion. I just want to keep my bird healthy at this point, because I don't think any of my other cards can really do much here. I don't want to rely on my Ditto. Oh, I forgot to attach an energy. Okay, so I'll just build my Jigglypuff just in case my weekly wants to show up at some point. There you go. Oh, I really wish I had a Giovanni card there, because I could have knocked out the Metapod and netted the game, but yeah, well, if we don't have it, we have a Sabrina. So when I run this deck, I feel Sabrina is not that important, because my Pidgeot does what Sabrina does, but better, because I can also use another support card. But if your Pidgey is not a Pidgeot yet and you want to shuffle your opponent's bench, then yes, Sabrina is quite needed in this deck, because the focus here is to just make sure that you hit your target. You pick your target and you hit them. You don't have to KO all your opponent's Pokemon. You just have to worry about those which are the weak links, which is basically what I look forward to doing here. And so this is my weekly, so I have a reliable backup now, so just in case my bird fails, which I know it wouldn't. And there's a switch into Butterfree, and we're gonna do a ton of damage here, bring it to 20 HP. So I would have said the battle is pretty much won here, but there's Pinsir in the back, and they can use an X speed to get their Butterfree back and Pinsir in. So yeah, it could go either way. Yes, as anticipated, they're gonna use an X speed and bring back Pinsir into the play, because that's their hardest hitting mon. And if they use a Giovanni and they land 2 heads, my bird is gone. So they're healing their Butterfree. It's pretty interesting. And here is the moment of truth. They didn't use Giovanni, so I can survive this. There's 1 heads and 2 heads. Okay, worst case scenario, but hey, we survive with 10 HP. I guess I got lucky there. So here's my second bird, but I don't have a Pidgeot. I'll try to set this up anyway. But again, the battle is won at this point, because I can pick my target, the bird picks its prey, and it's gonna eat the prey. The Pinsir is too big to eat, so we eat the ones we can. Yeah, well, I don't really have to attach an energy there. And that's game 1. We got 3 straight clean points. But yeah, it was a rather spicy deck used by my opponent. Now, going to the next battle. This was quite interesting, because in this battle, my opponent used just 1 Pokemon, and I was quite certain I might lose this, and really got lucky there. I mean, that was a skill play, I guess, by my opponent. They read my card and they read my hand, and they probably chose not to play any other card in the bench because Pidgeot can be annoying at times. And there. So when I saw the Cubone, I was expecting a Marowak EX card because otherwise the deck doesn't make sense. The regular Marowak doesn't make the cut. And here we are going first again, which is not preferred by many people because you don't get to attach your energy card in the first round when you're going first, and it's quite annoying at times. And my bird is getting ready to fly, so it's in its second stage. Pardon the noise in the back, I'm still in my classroom. Alright, so there, I'm guessing that's the Marowak EX. Yes, that's the card. I'm not sure if it's called EX or X because I got into TCG after TCG Pocket was released. So I'm fairly new to the game as well, but I really enjoyed the game. So there's one heads, and that's gonna take away my Jigglypuff. Well, now time for the bird, and I have one energy there, so I can. One more thing that's really convenient about Pidgeot is that it only needs 2 energy. Like you can set up your Pidgeot in 2 turns. Like you can attach 2 energy, evolve it twice, and yeah, you're good to go. You have a broken passive ability, and since there's nothing in the bench, I can't really use my passive. It all comes down to these 2 moves. And if my opponent flips heads now twice, that's good game. We just hope it's less than 2, the number of heads. There's 1 heads and tails, so we win the game because the next turn I can just KO them with 1 wing attack. I don't have to bother attaching energy or anything. So good game. I guess they were a pretty little overconfident, but well, it could have swung either way. So I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Please like and subscribe, and do let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one.